All right, so our last lesson in chapter 3. So we have chapter 3, section 5, 0 and negative exponents. This is also going to be a multi-part or multi-video lesson, just because that way you can go directly to the video that you need if you need to go back and look something up later on. So we're going to start with the 0 exponent rule. And of course, there we go. So our 0 exponent property states that for every integer a where a does not equal 0, the following is true. And that would be that a to the 0 power equals 1. So really what this means is anything outside of 0, because this does say for every non-zero number or every integer a where a does not equal 0. So anything to the 0 power equals 1. Is always. That's how it works. So one way to see why this is what it is if we do something like 4 cubed over 4 cubed. So I can think of that as 4 times 4 times 4 over 4 times 4 times 4. And then I could take that to be 64 divided by 64, which equals 1. I can also use our quotient rule or quotient property, where we had 4 cubed over 4 cubed would be equal to 4 cubed, or 4 to the 3 minus 3, which would be 4 to the 0 power. And so then, since these are the same, that means 4 to the 0 equals 1. Because up here, 4 to the 3rd divided by 4 to the 3rd gave us 1. So down here, when I do it, it would give us the same thing, because 4 to the 3rd divided by 4 to the 3rd is equal. Or anything divided by the same thing equals 1. We've learned that before, so that's another way to think of it. All right, so here are our lovely examples. So again, 18 divided by, when we have numbers, they are their own bases. So 18 divided by 18 is 1. And then we would have x to the 20 minus 20. So we'd end up with x to the 0, which is equal to 1. Fairly simple, very simple. That just uses our quotient property. So here we have 9 divided by 3, because I'm going to split this out. I'm going to think of it as 3 different fractions. 9 divided by 3, x to the 5th divided by x squared, and y to the 12th divided by y to the 12th. So I'm going to start with the first one. 9 divided by 3, which is 3. The second one is going to be x to the 5 minus 2. And the third one is going to be y to the 12 minus 12. So we end up with 3x cubed y to the 0. But y to the 0 is 1. So our answer is 3. Well, that was a terrible looking 3. 3x cubed. And that's our answer. Because the 0 only goes with the y. I want to make that very clear. On this one, that 0 is only with the y. It is not with the x, it is not with the 3, it is not with the 9. And I mean, as you're looking through all of those, it is only with the y. So the only thing that becomes 1 is the y to the 0. And 1 times anything is itself. So when y to the 0 became 1, we took that 1 times 3, which gave us 3. All right, B looks very complicated, and you could go through and simplify everything on the inside, but all of it is to the 0 power. So this just equals 1. I know that looks crazy in there, and you're just like, ah, but nope, it's to the 0 power. So it just all becomes 1. All right, so D here, again, that base to the 0 is just with the x. So this is just 5 times 1, which equals 5. The x became 1, so our answer is just 5. And that's our 0 exponent property. That's it. Pretty simple. So until next time.